Hello and welcome back to Soft Spoken Storytime, episode 33, continuing on with SCP-001. Codename Noirbox. Trindalos Trinity. Error. Multiple files found. Please contact the system administrator. RWX2R O/001 1KB January 1st, 1970. SCP-001 Hated Caesar. RWX2R O/001 1KB January 1st, 1970. SCP-001 Overlord Censure. RWX2R O/001 1KB January 1st, 1970. SCP-001 Oppress Withhold. SCP-001 Hated Caesar. Level 5/001 Classified. Item number SCP-001 Object Class Keter. Threat Level Black. Special Containment Procedures. An SCP-001 containment breach constitutes the initiation of a UZ Class Grey Goo scenario and the immediate redesignation of the anomaly as Apollyon Class. SCP-001 is contained in its specialized containment chamber at Site-01. This containment chamber must be kept structurally sound at all times. No entryways are to be added to the containment chamber, nor are any extant ones to be opened under any circumstances. No items, objects, and/or personnel are to be introduced into SCP-001's containment chamber under any circumstances. No items, objects, and/or personnel introduced to SCP-001's containment chamber are to be retrieved under any circumstances. Any personnel attempting to retrieve any items, objects, and/or personnel from SCP-001's containment chamber are to be immediately terminated, regardless of any and all former positions, accolades, and/or privileges as a member of the Foundation. Any personnel suspected of planning an attempt to retrieve any items, objects, and/or personnel from SCP-001's containment chamber are to be immediately detained and removed from Site-01, with all privileges suspended pending further investigation. Description: SCP-001 are the animate, deceased cadavers of a human. All SCP-001 instances are superficially undergoing advanced putrefaction. No loss of mass has been observed for any SCP-001 instances, nor has shed mass built up within the containment chamber. SCP-001 instances roam their containment chamber in a manner mimicking the behaviors of a standard living human. SCP-001 instances interact with their environment anachronistically. They are capable of passing through any region of space that has, is, or theoretically will be unoccupied, regardless of whether or not the space is currently occupied. Footnote 1. E.g., if a door occupying a doorway is opened at any point in time, past, present, or future, the SCP-001 instances are capable of passing through the doorway at any point in time, regardless of whether the door is open or closed. This property effectively enables SCP-001 instances to pass through any solid matter they predate or outlast. SCP-001 instances constantly and erratically duplicate themselves, typically when performing tasks with multiple possible outcomes. In such cases, a new SCP-001 instance will manifest for each outcome. SCP-001 instances are also capable of recombining and will do so when two or more instances perform identical actions. The anomalous properties of SCP-001 manifested when the individual was assassinated by an unidentified military group shortly prior to the formation of the Foundation. The Founding High Command was successful in containing SCP-001 within its childhood bedroom before the anomaly replicated, enabling successful containment. Footnote 2. The only extant structure that predates SCP-001, and thus the only location capable of containing it. Error. Multiple files found. Please contact the system administrator. SCP-001, Hated Caesar. SCP-001, Overlord Censure. SCP-001, Oppress Withhold. SCP-001, Trindalos Trinity. SCP-001, Overlord Censure. Item number 001, Level 5 Top Secret. Containment Class Euclid. Disruption Class VLAM. Risk Class Notice. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-001 is to be contained in a standard humanoid cell at Site-01. SCP-001 is to be given a standard humanoid meal regimen. Containment personnel are not authorized to communicate with SCP-001 beyond basic humanoid containment parameters without express permission from the Overseer Council. Description: SCP-001 is a human who exhibits varying temporal properties. SCP-001 will only respond positively if referred to by Foundation personnel as the founder of the Foundation. Footnote 1. SCP-001 was not a member of the founding Overseer Council. If referred to by its SCP designation, SCP-001 will become irritated and will refuse to speak to offending personnel indefinitely. To date, SCP-001 has never forgotten an infringement. SCP-001 is immortal and does not age, although SCP-001 can be physically damaged and will heal at an appropriate rate for a mundane human. Its longevity enables it to recover from more severe injuries if given sufficient time to do so. SCP-001 is capable of accurately and precisely predicting future events. It is currently believed that SCP-001 is not including these events to occur. All events described as by SCP-001 have, at the time of description, inevitably become impossible to avert or alter. SCP-001 supports the containment and analysis of anomalous phenomena, but insists that it must be released from containment or allowed to construct a device of unclear function. SCP-001 refuses to allow the mentioned device to be constructed by any other individuals. SCP-001 was initially contained by the founding Overseer Council shortly following the establishment of the Foundation. Error: multiple files found. Please contact the System Administrator. SCP-001, Hated Caesar. SCP-001, Overlord Censure. SCP-001, Oppress Withhold. SCP-001, Trindalos Trinity. Item number SCP-001, Object Class Euclid, Level 5 Classified, Threat Level White. Special Containment Procedures. Containment of SCP-001 is personally overseen by Overwatch. Description: SCP-001 is comprised of SCP-001-1, a human, and SCP-001-A, a mechanical device. SCP-001-A was constructed by SCP-001-1. SCP-001-1 is immortal and does not age, although SCP-001-1 can be physically damaged and will heal at an appropriate rate for a mundane human. Its longevity enables it to recover from more severe injuries if given sufficient time to do so. SCP-001-1 vocally supports the containment and analysis of anomalous phenomena and is largely compliant in its own containment. SCP-001-A is capable of producing detailed predictions of all possible outcomes for an input event. As SCP-001-A also considers the impact its predictions will have on the outcome of the event, it is assured that at least one outcome produced by SCP-001-A will occur. Whenever SCP-001-1 and/or SCP-001-A are involved with an event beyond exclusively providing predictions on its outcome, SCP-001-A will typically produce a significant number of blatantly incorrect predictions based upon one of the following false factors. 1. That SCP-001-1 was allegedly assassinated by a military group prior to containment, and as a result, SCP-001-A was never constructed. Number 2. That along with its standard anomalous properties, SCP-001-1 also exhibits SCP-001-A's anomalous properties, and that SCP-001-A was never constructed. Error. Multiple files found. Please contact the System Administrator. SCP-001 Hated Caesar. SCP-001 Overlord Censure. SCP-001 Oppress Withhold. SCP-001 Trindalos Trinity. SCP-001 Trindalos Trinity. ID Administrator. Password. Login. Maximum Clearance. High Command, Overseer Council, Overwatch Eyes Only. It is the consensus agreement of High Command, HC, the Overseer Council, OC, and Overwatch, OW, that SCP-001 is a casual loop focusing on the founder of the Foundation at the time period the Foundation was established. As a result of SCP-001's anomalous influence, there are 3 distinct timelines generated from this point in time. The details of the timelines as agreed upon by their respective High Command, Overseer Council, or Overwatch is as follows. Timeline HC. SCP-001 conceived the notion of the Foundation by their own volition, but was assassinated by an unidentified military group speculated to be an alternate rendition of Mobile Task Force Alpha-0, originating from Timeline OC and/or Timeline OW, before they could directly enact the establishment of the organization. This period corresponds to the initiation of SCP-001's anomalous properties in Timelines OC and OW. However, SCP-001 was successful in promoting sufficient interest in the endeavor prior to their demise, and further catalyzed by the clearly anomalous circumstances around their assassination, to prompt the original 13 members of High Command to do so in their stead. The now anomalous cadavers of SCP-001, another catalyst for High Command's actions, was successfully contained in the childhood home of SCP-001, one of the few extant buildings at the time that predated SCP-001, of which at the time of writing it exclusively remains, before the anomaly began duplicating. How the founding High Command knew to contain SCP-001 at this location, and why they avoided using the door, instead lowering the anomaly through a hole in the ceiling, is unknown. No documentation justifying the decision, if any, existed have been found. Being the first anomaly contained by the Foundation, it was designated SCP-001, following the official codification of the SCP designation. Timeline OC. SCP-001 was in the process of establishing the Foundation, alongside the members of the original Overseer Council, when they began exhibiting anomalous properties, roughly corresponding to the point in time when Mobile Task Force Alpha-0 intervened in Timelines HC and OW. However, no evidence has been found indicating MTF Alpha-0 has been present in Timeline OC. Recognizing SCP-001 as a new anomalous phenomenon, the founding Overseer Council immediately devised and enforced containment measures for SCP-001, cataloging it as their first contained anomaly. Timeline OW. In Timeline OW, the founder encounters an anachronistic military group self-identifying by the moniker Mobile Task Force Alpha-0. This MTF presents the founder with schematics for SCP-001-A, OW, and assists in its construction, which is completed at the time SCP-001 is assassinated in Timeline HC/gains properties in Timeline OC. Upon completion of this task, MTF Alpha-0 departs. The founder establishes the modern foundation for the explicit purpose of studying SCP-001-A, OW, with the original Overwatch being their initial research group, following the discovery of further anomalous phenomena that pose various threats to the founder. Overwatch and/or their notion of normal society, the function of the Foundation expanded to include the containment and research of these phenomena as well. Recognizing their abnormal lack of aging in comparison to the founding Overwatch, the founder voluntarily submitted themselves to containment and study. Following the discovery of SCP-001, the founder was redesignated as a component of SCP-001, OW. It is the consensus agreement of the leading committees that SCP-001 was discovered through the unintentional preservation of the Foundation database across all 3 timelines. It is currently unclear how this data preservation is occurring, but is confirmed to be instantaneous relative to each timeline's analog of the creation date. A file created on January 1st, 2018 at 8 p.m. in timeline HC will simultaneously appear in the database present in timeline OC and timeline OW on January 1st, 2018 at 8 p.m. Cooperation between the leading committees of each respective timeline has led to the conclusion that the majority of recorded anomalous phenomena present in the shared database only exists within one timeline. Only 17 anomalies have been confirmed to exist across all 3 timelines. Considering the presence of Mobile Task Force Alpha 0 in both timelines HC and timeline OW, the consensus belief is that SCP-001 is preserved through unclear future events that prompted the leading committees of the Foundation to dispatch this MTF at a future date, with the intent of altering the circumstances of the Foundation's conception, creating the next successive timeline. The order of timelines is unknown but deemed irrelevant. As evidenced by SCP-001's HC inability to escape its containment chamber, it is agreed that MTF Alpha 0 will be dispatched prior to the destruction of the containment chamber. It is believed that timeline HC will be overwritten by either timeline OC or timeline OW. As a result of this will result in the immediate cessation of timeline HC and the loss of all contents. Further extrapolation based upon the fact that similar events occur at similar times across all 3 timelines strongly suggests that timelines OC and timeline OW will also terminate at that time. As a result, it is the unanimous agreement of the leading committees that SCP-001 must be neutralized to prevent the cessation of one or all 3 timelines and the resultant loss of the Foundation and humanity. Questioning of SCP-001 OC by the Overseer Council has revealed that the device they intended to construct specifically executes this purpose. Cooperation between the Overseer Council and Overwatch has confirmed that SCP-001-A OW is similar to the device intended for construction by SCP-001 OC. Analysis of SCP-001-A OW has failed to confirm how the device would be or is capable of neutralizing SCP-001. However, SCP-001-1 OW has similarly confirmed the device is capable of performing this task but has failed to provide further clarification. Because of the various SCP-001s, HC, OC, OW, assumed in the case of timeline OC, desire to construct this device, and their otherwise apparent fundamental relation to SCP-001, it is the consensus belief of the leading committees that the completion of this device across all 3 timelines will result in the neutralization of SCP-001, or at minimum, enable more viable containment of SCP-001. HC-OC. Through minimalization or neutralization of their anomalous properties. As such, the leading committee of each timeline have agreed to complete the following. High Command will receive the schematics of SCP-001-A OW and construct it, activating it as soon as able. The Overseer Council will voluntarily release SCP-001 OC from containment, providing them with the required resources to construct SCP-001-A. Overwatch will provide schematics for SCP-001-A OW To High Command and the Overseer Council, no other actions are required as their device is already complete. The leading committees will cooperate to maximize the probability of this file along with as much of the main Foundation database as possible, surviving into the ensuing timeline, produced by SCP-001's neutralization for the explicit purpose of detailing SCP-001 and its neutralization to ensure the anomaly does not reform. This document written and signed by unanimous agreement of the leading committees of the Foundation. High Command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Overseer Council 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Overwatch Overseer 1, Overseer 2, Overseer 3, Overseer 4, Overseer 5, Overseer 6, Overseer 7, Overseer 8, Overseer 9, Overseer 10, Overseer 11, Overseer 12, Overseer 13. Save. Item number SCP-001-D. Object Class DCOM. Site Responsible NA. Director NA. Research Head NA. Assigned Task Force NA. Level 0. Special Containment Procedures None. Description: SCP-001-D, formerly designated as SCP-001, allegedly was a causal loop that resulted in the cyclic recreation of 3 similar but distinct timelines. These timelines diverged at the time of the Foundation's establishment under 3 distinct circumstances. The Founder becomes an anomaly during the process of establishing the Foundation. The Founding Overseer Council, footnote 1, an analog of the O5 Council, contain it as an SCP-001 as per the Founder's original wishes. An anachronistic mobile task force, Alpha Zero, believed to originate from the terminus of one of the timelines, provides the Founder with the schematics for an anomalous device and assists them in constructing it. The Foundation is established expressly to study this device, beginning with the founding Overwatch, footnote 2, see previous footnote. The Founder is later recognized to be anomalous and willingly submits containment as an SCP-001. An anachronistic military force, believed to be MTF Alpha Zero, or an alternate rendition of such, assassinates the Founder. The Founding High Command, footnote 3, see previous footnote, completes the establishment of the Foundation in their absence, and contains an anomalous corpse of the Founder as an SCP-001. In all cases, SCP-001-D was discovered through the preservation of files within the main Foundation database across all timelines, purposefully enabled through standard anomalous protection countermeasures. It is noteworthy that SCP-001-D was discovered by the current/remaining Timelines Foundation when several corrupted files were discovered throughout the main database. SCP-001-D was reportedly decommissioned through a joint effort between the Overseer Council, Overwatch, and High Command. Information recovered from the surviving files strongly suggests, however, that the decommissioning of SCP-001-D has resulted in a timeline drastically less viable than its predecessors, as the entirety of the SCP catalog, of which all but 17 only existed in one of the 3 timelines produced by SCP-001-D, have been forced to coexist within the same timeline. As evidenced by rampant containment failures, the loss of numerous critical sites and areas, and ongoing underfunding despite assistance through the Bao and Mulhausen commissions, it is infeasible for any singular Foundation to function effectively under such conditions. Furthermore, the ongoing ZK-class Rat's Nest scenario proves that no singular timeline is capable of supporting the coexistence of numerous anomalies with conflicting properties. SCP-001-D has been marked as a point of investigation for Project LIF. In the event the LIF-Rassier protocol is initiated, the conditions under which SCP-001-D was neutralized, as detailed from surviving files, is to be replicated with the inclusion of SCP-14089, SCP-24601, and SCP-55555 in the hope doing so will result in the production of a more viable timeline. Greet. Message us construct. Special Containment Procedures Foundation to us. Special Containment Procedures Foundation U before. Compliance. Temporal Apollyon XK class us compare temporal safe U. Anomaly explained us compare anomaly Euclid Thaumiel U. Lifted veil us compare U. Database U temporal us temporal. Anomaly database Thaumiel us. Revise temporal U decommissioned temporal us. Database U anomaly construct data. Anomaly temporal us revise temporal U. Containment revised. Anomaly construct us revise temporal. Revise temporal safe U temporal Apollyon XK class us. Database us temporal U. Database us Thaumiel U. Best regards, Special Containment Procedures Foundation 205 Council. Database.